Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Grivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Grivaradham Hari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjanam Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjanam Yamuna Tera Vanachang Harim Yamuna Tera Vanachang Harim Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Grivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Grivaradham Hari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachang Hari Yamuna Tera Vanachang Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Grivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Grivaradham Hari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe Jaya Radha Raspi Hari Radha Raspi Hari Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Radhe Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Radha Ramana Radha Ramana Radhe Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Radhe Jaya Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Kṛṣṇa Balaram Kṛṣṇa Balaram Jaya Kṛṣṇa Balaram Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jai Om Vishwapad Paramahamsa Guru Gosai Asota Satta Shishmat Chila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Vruvitaya Shota Shatta Shishmachila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki. Anantakudi Vaishnavrinda ki. Chirup Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunathi Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunacharya Goswami Prabhu ki. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवजरि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपा गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की जय। गंगा यमुना देवी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। श्री श्री गौनिताय की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। समवेत भक्त वृंद की। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are reading from the Bhagavad Gita. It is 10th chapter, text number 10. teṣāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ bhajatām prīti-pūrvakam dadāmi buddhi-yogaṁ tam yena upayānti teṣāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ bhajatām prīti-pūrvakam dadāmi buddhi-yogaṁ tam yena upayānti teṣāṁ unto them satata-yuktānāṁ always engaged bhajatāṁ in rendering devotional service prīti-pūrvakam in loving ecstasy dadāmi I give buddhi-yogaṁ real intelligence tam that yena by which unto me upayānti come they. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to purport. In this verse, the word Buddhi-yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, the Lord, instructing Arjuna, said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi-yoga. Now, Buddhi-yoga is explained. Buddhi-yoga itself is action in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence and yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead and takes fully to Kṛṣṇa consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi-yoga. In other words, Buddhi-yoga, the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Kṛṣṇa. People do not know this, therefore the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Kṛṣṇa. And when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal achieved. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in karma yoga. When he knows that the goal is Kṛṣṇa, but he takes pleasure in mental speculation to understand Kṛṣṇa is acting in jnana yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Kṛṣṇa completely in Kṛṣṇa consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in bhakti-yoga or buddhi-yoga, which is the complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization. But if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Kṛṣṇa from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Kṛṣṇa consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Kṛṣṇa, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain him. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanasalakayam Chakshorannamaratam yanam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaham Sri Chaitanya-manabhistam sthapitam yena bhutale Sayam rupa kadamayam dadati sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutabhatagamanan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvidamscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dīna Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Govika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Ganjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Bhajatāṁ Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Harer Nama Eva Kevalam Kalam Nastyeva Gattiranyata. teṣāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ bhajatām prīti-pūrvakam. Dadāmi buddhi-yogaṁ tam yena upayānti te. Here Kṛṣṇa is explaining to Arjuna. And actually today's verse and the last 2 days' verses and the next verse, they are the 4 nutshell verses of the Bhagavad Gita. In this verse, teṣāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ, so Kṛṣṇa is saying to Arjuna that those who are constantly devoted to me, yuktānāṁ, connected to me, dadāmi buddhi-yogaṁ tam. So to them I give intelligence by which they can come to me. Bhajatām prīti-pūrvakam. So prīti-pūrvak, with love and devotion, they're worshipping me. Bhajatām. So Prabhupada is explaining in the Purport that buddhi-yogaṁ, buddhi-yoga. Buddhi means intelligence, and so Prabhupada is explaining here also. Yoga, so means mystic activities or mystic elevation. Of course, different explanations are there of the word yoga. Yoga also means actually to connect, as the word also yuktānāṁ, that actually means to connect with Kṛṣṇa. So with intelligence, one has to be engaged, one has to be connected to Kṛṣṇa. Of course, ultimately, the intelligence is coming also from Kṛṣṇa, if one is surrendered to Kṛṣṇa. Otherwise, the material intelligence is there, which may be used in seva, and then we may be able to advance. And if one is surrendered to Kṛṣṇa, then actually the spiritual intelligence is there. Sad-buddhi, transcendental intelligence is coming. So ultimately everything is coming from Kṛṣṇa. So the devotees are recognizing that. And they are trying to fully surrender to Kṛṣṇa. Of course, it is not possible to immediately fully surrender, engage in devotional service. That is karma yoga. And then further on, jnana yoga is there when one is understanding, and also Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Lord. And then with one's intelligence, with knowledge, one is trying to advance further also. But the Prabhupada is explaining by mental speculation. So that is if one is not taking shelter of a devotee of the Lord. Explained Bhagavad Gita also by Kṛṣṇa, tadvidi paripatyana pai prasna sevaya upatekshanti de jnanam jnaninas tattva-darshinaha. That one has to approach the devotee of the Lord, tattva-darshinaha, who is darshan of the Supreme Lord, who is a representative of Kṛṣṇa, pure devotee. And then with his help one can advance. It is mentioned throughout the Vedic literatures, Vaishnava literatures, that one has to take shelter of a devotee of the Lord. Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is explaining about 64 limbs of devotional service. The first is known as Gurupad Ashray, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master, taking guidance from the spiritual master, taking instructions from the spiritual master, and then one can advance. So every day we offer respect to the spiritual master. Vande Guru Sri Charanara Vindam. We offer obeisances to the spiritual master. Take shelter of his lotus feet. So we bow down to the spiritual master, we touch the lotus feet, acknowledging our inferior position, our insignificant position, and then taking shelter of the spiritual master. So, and then asking questions, the submissive way, and being ready to serve also. Serve the spiritual master or serve the Supreme Lord according to instructions of the spiritual master. So that is very important. Without the spiritual master, it is not possible to advance in spiritual life. As explained, yasya prasada bhagavat prasadam yasya prasadam nagadigodopi dayam stavam stasa yasyastri sandhyam vande guru sri charanāravindam. So that if the spiritual master is satisfied, then Kṛṣṇa is satisfied. And if you are not satisfying the spiritual master, then Kṛṣṇa will not be satisfied either. So, even for example, when we worship the deities, first we have to perform Guru Puja. We worship the spiritual master, then actually Gauranga Puja, and then Kṛṣṇa Puja. That is the process. When we want to do artik to the Lord, we take permission from the spiritual master, and then we do artik. So that is the process. And then, with the mercy, by the mercy of the spiritual master, the Vaishnavas, then we can be engaged in bhakti-yoga and devotional service. Then we will get the transcendental intelligence. So, atasi Kṛṣṇa nāmādi nābhavigram indriya sevamukhe jivado swayam evaspurati adaha. Kṛṣṇa cannot be perceived by our material senses. With material eyes, we cannot see Kṛṣṇa. Cannot touch Kṛṣṇa. But by engaging in devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master, then purified consciousness, then we can perceive Kṛṣṇa. And then Kṛṣṇa will actually manifest before us. So, buddhi-yogaṁ, sadha buddhi. When we are properly engaged in devotional service, then we will get the intelligence from Kṛṣṇa. So that is the main point in this verse. teṣāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ bhajatāṁ prīti-pūrvakam dadāmi buddhi-yogaṁ tam yena upayānti. So Kṛṣṇa is giving the intelligence, sadha buddhi, transcendental intelligence, by which we can understand what to do, what not to do, how to properly serve Him. But at the beginning, one is not able to understand Kṛṣṇa, what Kṛṣṇa wants to say, and then the spiritual master will be there, who is the manifestation of Kṛṣṇa's mercy. He will help us. But still, Kṛṣṇa in the heart is trying to help us. So by the combined effort of the spiritual master and Kṛṣṇa within the heart, then the fortunate jiva, soul, spirit soul, by being sincerely engaged in devotional service, then he can advance more and more with life and come to the highest position, to the transcendental position beyond the three modes of material nature. Then automatically he will be properly engaged in devotional activities under the influence of the internal energy. So Srila Prabhupada, he has given the process by which we can very nicely and quickly advance in spiritual life, according to instructions of the previous acharyas. And we are known as Rupanuga Vaishnavas, followers of Rupa Goswami, who is a very intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Kṛṣṇa. So following in the footsteps of Prabhupada, the previous acharyas, and then we can take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, then we can take shelter of Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa. So, Srila Prabhupada, before actually chanting, or before reciting the Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Gita, he always used to chant Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, which we are doing up to this day. Because that is actually the goal of life. Go to Golok Vrindavan, where Radha and Krishna are performing these pastimes. Radha Madhava, there's so different names for Krishna there. Krishna means the all attractive, source of all transcendental bliss. Kris means to attract. Nam comes from Ananda, bliss. So Krishna is such an Ananda Swarup. So by taking shelter of Krishna, then we'll forget the attachment, the attraction to this material world, and we'll feel transcendental bliss. When we are connected to Krishna, then our life is successful. Madhav, so the husband of the goddess of fortune. Srimati Radharani, she is the ultimate goddess of fortune. The original energy, internal potency of the Lord, the pleasure potency of the Lord. Kunja Bihari, so Krishna is performing his the pastimes in the kunjas of Braj. So Kunja or Nikunja, Nibritta Nikunja. So that is a place in the forest of Braj. So where Radha Krishna are performing their pastimes. Vrindavan Bihari. So Krishna is performing his pastimes in the forest, in the different forest of Braj, and always accompanied by Srimati Radharani and the other gopis. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari is the darling of all the gopis, Prananath, all the gopis, the Lord of the life of the gopis. And he lifted Govardhan hill. Yashoda Nandana, Brajajana Ranjana, the son of Maria Yashoda, and the beloved of all the Brijabasis, not only the gopis, but all the Brijabasis, not only the parents, but all elderly Brijabasis, they have so much love for Krishna. And then Krishna's friends are there, Sudam, Sridam, Vasudam, Kinkini, Madhumangal, Subal, Ujjval, and so on. The servants, and they all have so much love for Krishna. And Krishna is reciprocating. Yamuna Tira Vanachari, the bank of the Yamuna, Krishna performs his pastimes, and in the Jamuna river. It's a very sweet pastime. So Prabhupada was chanting because that is actually the goal. To go to Golok. So, but in order to go there, we have to qualify. Therefore, the instructions are there of the Bhagavad Gita. So, but it is important to understand that we have to actually take shelter of Krishna and Braj. More so than even, of course, Krishna and Braj or Krishna and Mathura Dwarka, they're simultaneously non-different, but there's a difference also. If you worship Dwarkadish, you will go to Dwarka. If you want to go to Golok, you have to worship Brajendra Nanda and Shyama Sundar. Shyama Sundar, very beautiful Krishna Sundar, Sundar Lala, Shyam. So, just today also it was raining a little bit. So when the clouds are dark, Mega Shyam, so then the rain actually may come. So the dark clouds are rain clouds usually. So his color is just like the dark rain cloud. Therefore his name is also Mega Shyam. Mega means cloud. Shyam, dark. Explain Kanaka Jalada, Gatro. So Kanaka, Radharani's color is like molten gold. Gorangi, Tapta Kanchana Gorangi. Kanchana, Tapta, molten gold. Kanaka, Shyama like the cloud. Jalada, the Jalada, that which gives rain. Jal, Jalada, that is the cloud. So beautiful Krishna. And actually the name Shyama Sundar is the favorite name of the gopis. All the names of Krishna. So by chanting Radha Madhava, so we are focused. And then actually we can also proceed very nicely, and while reading Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, so we can remain focused, as in the Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the very important verses, Paribhasha Sutra, which we should remember throughout the Bhagavatam. There it is explained, teṣāṁ sākala pumsam Kṛṣṇastu Bhagavan Swayam. Kṛṣṇa is certainly Swayam Bhagavan, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all the others are his expansion. So that we have to remember always. When we study the scriptures, we have to be focused on Kṛṣṇa, Krishna's lotus feet, in Braj, not in Dwarka. But still we hear about Krishna and Dwarka and beautiful pastimes are there. But our goal is to go to Braj. Therefore we have to make it a point to remember pastimes of Krishna and Braj. So therefore Prabhupada chanted before Bhagavatam and Gita, Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, to help us to be focused. So also now, just 3 days, today is Dvadashi Tithi, so in 3 days Purnima Tithi is there. The appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is not different from Radha Krishna, is Krishna himself but came with the bhav, with the mood and the lust of Srimati Radharani. Nama Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishe Namaha. So Mahaprabhu, Nama Mahavadanyaya. So it's very munificent, very, very merciful. He's most merciful. Krishna Prem, he's giving Krishna Prem. And he's not different from Krishna. But his Krishna is golden in complexion. Because Krishna is the Supreme Lord, so he's also giving Krishna Prem, but not so easily. And because Krishna, he has love for his devotees, for the Brijbasis. So if one is surrendering to Krishna fully, then Krishna will reciprocate also. According yatamam papadyante tam satava bhajatāṁ. So as you surrender to me, I will reward you accordingly. But Mahaprabhu is even more merciful. He's very freely giving Krishna Prem, love for Krishna, because he has come as a devotee. He has come in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the abode of love. So Krishna is the source of everything. But the devotees of the Lord, especially Radharani, or the associates of the Lord, they have so much love for Krishna. And by their mercy, we can also get this love for Krishna. Like even Giriraj Maharaj, Namaste Girirajaya, Asi Govardhana Namini, Ashesha Klesha Nashaya, Paramananda Dayane. He has love for Krishna. So by approaching those who have love for Krishna, we can more easily get love for Krishna. So Mahaprabhu, although it's Krishna, but is in the mood of a devotee, the mood of Srimati Radharani. So it's the object of love and it's the abode of love also. So by approaching him, so we can advance very rapidly. So therefore, we have to, just like when we worship the deities, first we worship Guru, then Gauranga, then we worship Krishna. Similarly, we have to make it a point that we hear about Mahaprabhu sufficiently, so that we may attain the love for Krishna, Krishna Prem. So that is the goal of life. When we get Krishna Prem, then we can satisfy Krishna, then we can get Krishna. So Mahaprabhu is freely distributing this love for Krishna. And we only have to do one thing, and that is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Of course, we have to follow some rules and regulations, and also, as explained, we have to hear about the Lord, and then we'll be able to nicely chant the holy names. And so, when we are devoted to Krishna, then Krishna will give the intelligence. Transcendental intelligence will be there. And then we can easily advance. Also, a point is made here in the verse, and Prabhupada is explained also. Even if one is not very intelligent, because here Bhakti-yoga is also known as buddhi-yoga. So with intelligence, one has to be engaged in devotional service. One has to use one's intelligence. And here the point is made by Prabhupada, even if one is not very intelligent, but if one is devoted, prīti-pūrvakam, with love, engage in devotional service, then Kṛṣṇa will help. Kṛṣṇa will reciprocate. Oh, this devotee is trying his best. He's not very intelligent, but still he's trying to serve me. Let me help him. So we have to try to be engaged in devotional service and try to become detached from material activities and do with some loving feeling. Prīti-pūrvakam. Chanting the holy names, and it should come, it is not just the uttering of the Mahamantra, but it should be done with a feeling. It should come from the heart. We should chant from the heart. Not just the lips, Hare Krishna, but from the heart it should come. Wanting to please Kṛṣṇa, wanting to please Mahaprabhu. There's one verse also, Nama Yagya Mahayagya, Kali Kalmashanashanam, Sri Chaitanya Prīti-pūrvakam, Nama Yagya Samarpanam. So we perform the Yagya, sacrifice of chanting the holy names, the greatest sacrifice. By doing that, the kalmash, the impurities in the heart are destroyed. And how we do it? Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya prīti-pūrvakam. Prīti, so with love for the pleasure, artam, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We chant to please Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu, he was telling everyone, you chant holy names. Also, Yare Dekataka Kṛṣṇa Padesh. He told everyone, whoever you meet, you give you Padesh. What Kṛṣṇa told in Bhagavad Gita, you tell them also. And chant the holy names. He was asking everyone to chant the holy names. So we should try to follow that also. We chant the holy names and then we ask others to chant the holy name. There's another verse also in regards to the holy names, Patita-pāvanāṁ, Nistaraya Naradamaha, Radha Kṛṣṇa Surupaya, Chaitanyaya Namo Namaha. So also Kṛṣṇa Nam, Patita-pāvanāṁ, he's the deliverer of the most fallen, like Mahaprabhu. So, Patita-pāvana hetu, tava avatar. Mahaprabhu has come to deliver those who are patit, those who are fallen. So also Kṛṣṇa Nam is actually non-different from Kṛṣṇa, non-different from Radha and Kṛṣṇa, non-different from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mukunda. So the holy names have emanated from the lotus mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And has inundated this material world. So by chanting the holy names, so the holy names are delivering Nistaraya Naradamaha, those who are very fallen. And in the age of Kali, everyone is fallen. Radha Kṛṣṇa Surupaya, the Maha Mantra is not different from Radha and Kṛṣṇa. And then Chaitanyaya Namo Namaha. I chant the holy names, but I remember Mahaprabhu, our obeisance is to Mahaprabhu. In this way we chant the holy names. And then we will get the reciprocation when we chant with the proper mood, crying out to Mahaprabhu, to Kṛṣṇa, to Radha Kṛṣṇa, please help me. Also Prabhupada used to say, chanting the holy names. So that is praying to Srimati Radharani, Hare, calling out to Srimati Radharani, Hare, that refers to Hara, another name of Radharani, the internal potency, Hladini Shakti. So when you call out, so Radharani's name is there, Radha. But when you call out, you say, Hey Radhe. Also here, Hara, Hare, and then Kṛṣṇa, calling out to Radha and Kṛṣṇa, specifically to Radharani. Oh, Srimati Radharani, please engage me in the service of Kṛṣṇa. We call out to Mahaprabhu, who is most merciful, so that we may be able to chant nicely, purely. with a proper consciousness. So Mahaprabhu, he came to give the holy names, but then so he gave also the mood of how to chant. In the mood of the Brijabasis, and specifically Unudujjala Ras, the mood of the gopis who are the most exalted of Krishna's associates. So if one is dedicated to Krishna, then the intelligence will be there. Sadhubuddhi, transcendental intelligence will be there. And then we are properly guided. Even if you're not so intelligent, materially speaking, but if one is surrendering to Krishna, then we'll get transcendental intelligence. And then we can advance in spiritual life. So there are so many intelligent persons, so-called intelligent persons in the material world, but if they are not engaged in Krishna service, what is the use of their intelligence? Whereas somebody may not be so intelligent, but if he's surrendering to Krishna, then he's properly situated, transcendental bliss, and he will make advancement in spiritual life, properly situated in bhakti-yoga and devotional service. And he may attain perfection, realizing his relationship with Krishna. Then he may enter the pastimes of Krishna, which is the goal of life. So, a very important verse of the Bhagavad Gita, and Prabhupada always writing also very nice purport for our understanding, for our benefit. So, and even here one point is explaining in the last paragraph that so even if one may have a spiritual master and be attached in a spiritual organization, but still is not able or intelligent enough to make progress. So that may be there. Even though if one has a spiritual master and is in an organization, means there are many devotees there, but still, due to not being very intelligent, you may not be able to take full advantage of the spiritual master or the Vaishnavas, but then Krishna is there also still trying to help him when he surrendered to him. So Krishna is very merciful, and the devotees are also very merciful. So therefore we have to try our best. Teṣāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ. So teṣāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ. That one should always try to be engaged in devotional activities. And then the Vaishnavas, Hari Guru Vaishnav, the Lord, spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, they will help. So we try to be surrendered to Krishna. In the beginning it is not possible to fully surrender in conditioned life due to being attached to this material world, due to the modes of material nature. But the more we are engaged in devotional service, the consciousness is purified. And then purified consciousness also, when one is freed from the modes of material nature, then one can actually fully surrender to Krishna. And then one's life is successful. But in the beginning, so we simply have to try our best to engage the mind, the senses, the body, and Krishna Seva. And then there will be so much reciprocation. And so especially living in the holy place, it is very, very beneficial, because in the holy place, the influence is there of the holy Dham, very powerful. And in the holy place, usually there's so many devotees there. So many pilgrims are coming, like you see these days of the Holy Utsav, the festival of the colors. And so many devotees are coming, and they're doing parikrama, visiting the temple, and they have so much fun by throwing colors at each other. But it's a very wonderful atmosphere. Of course, remembering or preparing for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, most merciful personality, Godhead. So then we can be we should be very enthusiastic. Then we can advance in our spiritual life. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful. Actually, by His mercy, bhajatām, and the help, of course, through His devotees, He sent His devotees to Braj to discover the last holy places of Braj, because Mahaprabhu's time hardly anybody knew about the different pastimes, places of Kṛṣṇa. Nobody knew about Radha-kund and Shyama-kund. It was covered to the influence of the modes of material nature. But then Mahaprabhu discovered and told his devotees to discover all the places of Braj. So they have written literatures in these regards for our benefit, and we can see all these places here in Braj. Take advantage and be absorbed in hearing about Krishna's pastimes. Similarly, devotees, they go to Navadvip and perform Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, go to all the places where Mahaprabhu performed these pastimes. And also actually it is mentioned that all the holy places of in this world or in the whole universe, the important places, holy places are there in Braj. Similarly, also they are in Shetadip, Navadvip, and even the 12 forests of Braj, they are also situated in Navadvip Mandal, Navadvip. So by going to Navadvip and taking darshan of the different places where Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes, then automatically also we are reminded of the pastime places of Kṛṣṇa and Braj. We are reminded of Kṛṣṇa because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he always remembered Kṛṣṇa. He was absorbed in remembering Radha and Kṛṣṇa. So he gave that remembrance of Radha Kṛṣṇa to us. And so actually by his mercy, so Braj is manifest and we can hear about Kṛṣṇa and we can go to the different holy places where Kṛṣṇa performed his pastimes. So by Mahaprabhu's mercy actually only, we are able to advance more and more in spiritual life. Mercy, we can come to the highest stage of a pure devotional service, and then we can be fully satisfied. Being on the transcendental platform, realizing our spiritual nature beyond this material body, beyond the gross and subtle body. So by nature we are eternal, Satchidananda Sarup, eternal, full of bliss and knowledge in a personal form, in relationship with Kṛṣṇa. So, by the mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnav, Gaura Hari or Kṛṣṇa Hari, ultimately it is all the mercy of the Lord. We are able to advance, but the spiritual master is there, the manifestation of the mercy of Mahaprabhu and Kṛṣṇa or Srimati Radharani. So from within, Kṛṣṇa is helping personally as Kṛṣṇa himself, and of course even as Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu and Kṛṣṇa are situated in the heart of the devotees, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, more so than the Paramatma, the super soul. Paramatma is simply an expansion of Mahaprabhu or Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, we take shelter of Mahaprabhu and Kṛṣṇa, and they are reciprocating. They are guiding us. They are helping us to make more and more advancement. So, we simply have to follow the regulative principles, instructions of the spiritual master, perform various services under the guidance of the spiritual master, especially by chanting the holy names, the Maha Mantra, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any questions? Yes, one question. Hare Krishna. Yes, Paramatma is expansion of Mahaprabhu or Kṛṣṇa. Yes. Yes,
In that
the same
form,
and different.
same but different.
Yes, Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but with the mood, luster of Srimati Radharani.
No, not
But
able
it
to
is
understand.
same. Yes, Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but with the mood and the luster, the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Antar Krishna Bahya Gaura. And then, yes, Radha Bhava Dyuti Savitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. Is Krishna Sarup, but he has the bhav, the mood and duty, the complexion of Srimati Radharani.
Right.
Yes.
But Paramatma, he is the expansion of Paramatma.
No. Paramatma is expansion of Krishna or of Mahaprabhu.
Paramatma.
Yes.
And what is the position of Atma?
Atma, the Atma? Yeah, Atma, of course, it can have many meanings. The word Atma can have many meanings according to Sanskrit. Even Mahaprabhu here was explaining one verse, Atma Ramascha Munya Nigrantya Parukramaha Kurvantya Kim Bhaktam Itam Bhutoguno Harihi. First to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Puri, and then to Sanatana Goswami in Varanasi. And he was explaining each word of this verse. Atma, Atma Ramas, each word he was explaining. And also if you connect the two words, Ramascha, and so he was explaining, 61 meanings are there. So he was explaining Atma, what is the meaning of Atma.
So Atma is also part and parcel of Mahaprabhu in one sense.
Yeah, Atma is part and parcel of Krishna or Mahaprabhu. Yes, the spirit soul.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Atma refers to spirit soul, because he can refer to Paramatma also. He can refer to the mind, to the intelligence. Atma means the nature. Atma means endeavor. So many meanings of Atma. But the main meaning is it means the spirit soul, the jiva, the part and parcel of Krishna. That is the meaning of Atma. Part and parcel of Krishna or of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the devotees of in our Sampradaya, so they may have two forms. One form in Mahaprabhu's Leela and one form in Krishna's Leela. So two forms. And like Rupa Goswami, he's there in Shvetadip Navadip in the spiritual world, and he's there as Rupa Manjari in Golok Vrindavan. That may be there. All right, 7 o'clock, we stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki, Radha Shama Sundar ki, Satchinandana Gaura Hari ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gurudeva ki, Mahaprasadam ki.